Will your wood glue work after freezing this winter? I spent the last 2 weeks trying to figure that out so you don't have to. So let's jump into it. I started with some online research. I typically buy Titebond glue, so I wanted to see what they had to say on the subject. They claim that freezing may not affect the function of the product, but could cause it to thicken. But then immediately after that it says keep from freezing. Another video on YouTube, directly from Titebond, says the glue is designed for up to 5 freeze-thaw cycles. So even going straight to the source of the manufacturer, there's some conflicting information on this. I decided to test it for myself. So this is the setup. I used Titebond 3 for this test. I filled up a small container and put it in my freezer for 12 hours. Then removed it from the freezer to warm up to room temperature for another 12 hours. Titebond recommends mixing the glue at this point if it's frozen to reconstitute it and get it back to a normal consistency. I then applied a generous amount of glue to 2 equal length pieces of cedar. I clamped it and allowed it to set for 24 hours. Finally, I tested the strength of the glue with some weights to gauge if any strength was lost. I did this first with some unfrozen glue as a control, and I then repeated this process 5 times to see if there were any observable changes in strength or usability. So here's my strength testing setup. The glued pieces are overlapped by an inch on each side. I then come an inch in from each end of the equally length pieces and use that as my fulcrum. I then use weights and a rope to start with 15 pounds of force and then move upwards in 2.5 pound increments until. So here's the results of the testing. The baseline for the control was 27.5 pounds to break the glue. The strength to break the glue actually moved upwards a little bit as I froze the glue. After the 5 freeze-thaw cycles, the final value to break the glue was 35 pounds of force. So while there was some variation in the force, there was no observable strength lost for the glue. Even if some of the strength was lost, the glue still maintained its strength above the critical threshold of being stronger than the wood itself. This is the strength threshold that really matters in the end. But that was just testing up to the 5 recommended freeze-thaw cycles. So what if you went beyond that? I ended up going all the way to 10 and doing one final test. The breaking weight of this setup was 32.5 pounds. So still no observable strength was lost, and the glue maintained that critical threshold of stronger than the wood. So based on this testing, the answer to the question is yes, you can keep using that glue after it froze this winter. Just be sure to give it a good stir before using it. I hope this video is helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.